Hi everyone. So I am excited to show or talk about my Theorist Matrix, where I explored 7 influential thinkers whose ideas really shaped how we understand learning and development. And I'm kind of focusing, or I am focusing on middle school. I'm currently teaching 6th grade, which is still elementary and still shows the development, and you can really see that development grow over the 6th grade year, which I think is really cool. So I'll first start with my first theorist, who is Jean Piaget, who's known for his theory of cognitive development. So for 6th graders, this looks like kids entering the formal operational stage where abstract thinking starts to kick in, which is great for both my math and science class. That means that they're finally ready to handle things like algebra and analyzing character motivation, though it's not always consistent. So neuroscience backs this up by sharing that the prefrontal cortex is still developing, so abstract reasoning is possible but still growing. So in my math class, I would use visual patterns, I would use graphs and help build on that step by step. All right, next is Lev Vygotsky, who believes that learning happens socially. So he talks about zone of proximal development, which is basically the sweet spot where kids can do almost something on their own but still need that guidance. What stood out to me is how well this connects to what we know about the brain and how people or how students learn best by talking, sharing, and building on each other's thinking and ideas. I love doing peer discussions. It's really hard for students to first get it, but once we do it more often, and they can dig a little bit deeper into both math and science. Next is Albert Bandura. They add another layer of social learning theory. He shows us that kids don't just learn by doing, but they learn by watching. So that's pretty powerful in 6th grade because they're using their peers to influence each other. Brain research shows that mirror neurons help explain this process. So being really intentional with modeling and showing things and having students model and show to their peers really creates this link that we're looking for. Next, there's Eric Eckerson, who helps us understand the emotional side of development. So 6th graders are in the industry versus inferiority stage, which means that they're figuring out whether they're capable or not. So that's a really big deal. That means that they're still building their identity. So when we give them chances to succeed and recognize their success, it impacts them. How they see themselves, it creates those windows of realization of who they are. How can they show off their creativity? How can they show off their persistence if we are focusing maybe in a STEM or any science challenge in that nature. Next is B.F. Skinner, who brings in behaviorism. He focused on how reinforcement shapes behavior, and it still obviously matters, especially to 6th graders. They love a good point system. I try my best to do rewards, and they love to have positive feedback and praise, which is what kind of relates back to that neuroscience where those feedbacks kind of push participation. All right, next is Maria Montessori. She's known for earlier childhood, but her ideas really do apply in middle school as well, especially around independence. You want to give students choice. You want to give them hands-on activities, which will strengthen executive function. And I like to let my students choose their inquiry-based science tasks whenever they get a chance, because it makes them focused. It's more thoughtful that way, and they're more motivated. Last is Yuri Bronfenbrenner, whose ecological systems theory reminds us that learning isn't just about what happens in the classroom. It's also in the family, the community, and their culture. So it's something that every teacher should honor, especially during what's going on around us in the United States at the moment. Although we're not in the classroom right now, it's very prevalent, and it's something to be aware of. Also asking students to share about themselves, about their lives. What can you personally connect something to that will help strengthen either your relationship with them or their connection to that learning? So overall, putting this matrix together has really helped me see the layers that go into effective teaching, and it shapes the mix or the relationship between culture and emotion that shape learning within our brains. So these theorists, they've been around for a long time, and they give us lenses to better understand our students and design classrooms where every kid can grow. So thank you so much for watching. I know I'm over time, but I think it's important to know these things. So